I'm looking down the 18th hole, and Turnberry is, I think, probably the best course in the world.
Yeah.
It's considered that by many people, and it's had 4 Open Championships, etc. And I'm looking down, and in the distance, I mean, it's a pretty far distance, but it doesn't matter. These things are massive, and you're looking at these ugly windmills, and it's a shame. It's really a shame. It's really hurting. You know, it's a con job saying the environmentalists want it, because I can't believe they really want it. Kills the birds, ruins the look. They're noisy. If you see them from your house is worth like 50% or more less. Yeah. No, I just think it's a very bad thing. Environmentally, it's horrible, and in every way, it's bad. And you have to subsidize them. You know, they cost money. When you put them up, they cost money. Energy is supposed to make money. Yeah. It's not supposed to lose money, and they lose a lot of money. And they're going to be abandoned already. They already are. They're being abandoned, and then nobody takes them down. And the other thing I say to Europe, we will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. They're killing the beauty of our scenery, our valleys, our beautiful plains. And I'm not talking about airplanes. I'm talking about beautiful plains, beautiful areas in the United States. And you look up and you see windmills all over the place. It's a horrible thing. It's the most expensive form of energy. It's no good. They're made in China, almost all of them. When they start to rust and rot in 8 years, you can't really turn them off. You can't bury them. They won't let you bury the propellers, you know, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the land. That's what they say. The environmentalists say you can't bury them because the fiber doesn't go well with the land. In other words, if you bury it, it will harm our soil. The whole thing is a con job. It's very expensive. And in all fairness, Germany tried it, and wind doesn't work. You need subsidy for wind, and energy should not need subsidy. With energy, you make money. You don't lose money. But more important than that is it ruins the landscape. It kills the birds. They're noisy. You know, you have a certain place in the Massachusetts area that over the last 20 years had 1 or 2 whales wash ashore, and over the last short period of time, they had 18, okay? Because it's driving them loco. It's driving them crazy. Now, windmills will not come. It's not going to happen in the United States.
As the debate over scrapping net zero fires up here at home and Labor continues sending us broken backwards on its renewables-only magic carpet ride, the US president is over in Europe, dropping some truth bombs about wind farms and the cost of net zero.
We will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. They're killing the beauty of our scenery, our valleys, our beautiful plains, and I'm not talking about airplanes. I'm talking about beautiful plains, beautiful areas in the United States. And you look up and you see windmills all over the place. It's a horrible thing.
How is that? No nonsense, just facts. And what makes it even more extraordinary is that he said it right in front of Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, who has pushed for more wind energy, even going as far as to say the industry is a European success story. Well, I'm not sure what success she's boasting about. Europe is hardly a model for it. Spain and Portugal were plunged into darkness in April, just days after Spain professed it had powered the entire national grid with 100% renewable energy on a weekday for the first time. Next minute, blackouts, planes grounded, public transport grinded to a halt, darkness everywhere. Memo to Chris Bowen, this is what happens. And if Ursula von der Leyen was feeling really uncomfortable sitting next to Trump while he dished up the truth about reckless renewables, she was about to be hit with this perler from the president.
It's the most expensive form of energy. It's no good. They're made in China, almost all of them. The whole thing is a con job. It's very expensive. And in all fairness, Germany tried it, and wind doesn't work. You need subsidy for wind, and energy should not need subsidy. With energy, you make money. You don't lose money.
A con job, very expensive. You make money with energy, not lose it. Boom, boom, boom. And if Ursula was desperately hoping to leave the room at that point, Trump left her with one final serve.
It ruins the landscape. It kills the birds. They're noisy.
And not that you'd ever hear that from environmentalists. And look, Trump's not wrong. Look at Germany, a once reliable energy powerhouse, now labelled the sick man of Europe, with energy bills among some of the highest in the EU, thanks to the country's unrealistic emissions targets. It has many even asking if it's time for Germany to go back to nuclear power, just like Switzerland, which is seeking to lift the country's ban on new nuclear power plants. Denmark is revisiting its 40-year nuclear power ban. And the Belgian government is looking to reverse nuclear phase-out policy. I mean, Germany, among other members of the EU, are examples of what not to do. So it's time the left woke up to the reality of the cult of renewable energy. Yet, here in Australia, Labor is obsessed with its renewables-only fantasy, thinking it can run the grid on an experiment of transmission lines, giant wind turbines, green hydrogen, solar farms and batteries, all with environmental consequences and all costing us a bomb. And the minister in charge, who promised your power bills would be lower and who promised $275 in energy relief, seems to think it's just all a big laugh.
The Coalition's having a big review of net zero. The National Party's appointed a very thorough independent reviewer in Senator Canavan. Appointing Senator Canavan to review net zero is a bit like putting Coldplay in charge of Kiss Cam. It doesn't necessarily lead to a happy marriage.
I mean, this guy just thinks our energy future is a big joke. And really, it is a big joke. How many green energy projects have been scrapped or delayed under his watch? So, speaking of truth bombs, here were the Nationals today, firing up the net zero debate again.
This is about a great threat to our nation and one of the most divisive issues in regional Australia and one of the most crushing issues for pensioners and for small business that our nation has ever participated in, which is net zero.
Net zero ultimately will destroy our economic base here in Australia. And the question that I want to know is, what will it cost?
And look, they're not wrong. We emit 1% of the world's greenhouse gases, yet we sell coal and gas to India and China, two countries not even signed up to net zero by 2050 themselves. So it's about time we have a serious discussion about the massive costs associated with the renewable energy targets, while actual big emitters aren't even on board. And the debate is getting serious. WA, the Northern Territory and the South Australian Liberal parties have voted to scrap net zero, so the pressure is on their federal colleagues now. Yet members of the coalition are busy reviewing via a committee process whether or not to dump net zero targets.
We have to work through this policy process, and I'm not foreshadowing what the outcome will be. It will be underpinned by two fundamental things: playing our part to responsibly and transparently reduce emissions, as we should, and also have a stable, reliable energy grid.
I mean, for goodness sake, how long does it take a review to tell you that your power bills are going in the other direction? And let's not make the same mistakes as Europe. Time to call a spade a spade. As Trump said, net zero is a con job. You don't need a review to tell you that.